Forex trading is my first love, if you like, when it comes to investing. I enjoy it. But of course, you can't just, get carried away with that kind of thing. You need to be able to sit down and work out a strategy, a plan that's going to work well for you financially, building your wealth and allowing you to invest in other things.
Okay, sitting down today with Kevin Hunt. Looking forward to talk about his story as a trader and kind of his background, a bit more about what he went through. So, Kevin, welcome back on the podcast. Good to have you here. And it's been a while we spoke about trading with you.
Certainly has. Yeah, I think the last time we spoke, we met here in Udon Thani. You flew up to Udon Thani to meet me. And I think I've done a couple of interviews with you going way back in, I don't know when it was, 2017, something like that. But yeah, it's been a long time.
Some cool stuff coming up with you, and I kind of want to hear a bit more about your story and how you began trading. So can you take us back and kind of share how you've been getting in the market and what happened since then?
Absolutely. Well, going way back to the beginning, I've always been self-employed. I've always owned my own companies. Started when I left school when I was 16, opened my first company when I was 17. And one thing led to another. I opened up an IT company in 2000, did extremely well, only to be ripped off by a business partner, a rogue business partner. So I ended up with nothing, absolutely nothing. That was 2010. Went to India just to heal my wounds with a Sikh family that I know, and spent some time there. Now, that was the turning point for me. It changed my mindset, the way that I approach living, the way that I approach money and everything else. And I realized that my life and my living conditions were more important than doing anything to chase money. So I ended up coming back to England. A friend of mine, he said, he was married to a Thai lady. He said, Kev, if you liked India, you'll love Thailand. So I knew nothing about Thailand, came to Thailand, spent 3 weeks here. That was 2012. And I fell in love with the place, just jumping in taxis, going off to places that I'd seen leaflets and brochures about, off into the mountains, seeing these little temples, and blown away by the way the people were, the friendship, little old ladies coming up and making sure I was okay for water and things like that. It was wonderful. And I just thought, I've got to make this place my home. I don't know how, but this is where I need to be. So, really sad, the third week, I'm on my way home to England. I thought, I've got to go back there. Oh, by the way, and what had happened, where I'd lost everything, my business, my IT company, I went back to driving a London taxi. Many years ago, I was a London taxi driver. And so I was going to go back to London and driving in London, and it was just horrendous thinking about it. On the way back, I got talking to a wonderful Thai lady. She was living in England and spoke great English, already had an English passport, and she was living 20 minutes from where I was living. And we got together, been together ever since 2012. So that was it. That was my key to get into Thailand. I knew it would be, but of course, I'm not retired yet. I don't have a pension yet. And I needed to make some money. But going back in time regarding the trading, I'd sort of like always thought about trading, whether it be stock trading, Forex trading. I didn't know what I was going to do, didn't know anything about it. So at this point, I'd sort of like stumbled upon it, looked a little bit, and then walked away from it. Thought, no, I haven't got the time to study it. 2012, me and my partner got together, and we came over to Thailand soon after to meet her family. Well, from that point on, we started staying in hotels here twice a year to visit her family. And we were staying in a hotel here in Udon Thani, and sitting by the pool, and I was looking at my iPad, and I got an ad come up for one of the brokers. I can't remember which one it was. And I just looked at it, and I had the time to actually sit there and play with it. Opened a demo account, and within minutes, I'd made 2,500 I've made on this account. I thought, well, this is easy. This is my key. This is my escape from London. This is how I'm going to be able to get to Thailand or travel anywhere in the world that I want to go. Of course, close the laptop up, show poop, really pleased with myself. Next day, I sat down by the pool. I thought, I'll make another 2,000. And of course, probably most of you guys know that's just not the case. I sat there and I blew the account within no time at all. Didn't know what I was doing. So I started looking around for mentors. I blew up 2 accounts, live accounts, working with people that just weren't helpful at all. It didn't work out what they were doing. And then from there, I did meet up with a mentor that worked out good. Started paying for the education. This was in, let me think, that was 2015. Anyway, by the time we got to 2000, I was doing well. By the time we got to 2017, I actually started teaching for her. So she was trading the New York session. I was trading the London session. I was trading my account and it was building nicely. And that was it really. I started trading that. That was, I was day trading, just price action. A very, very simple setup. And like I say, finally got to work out what it was, knowing it was the mindset. Of course, the mindset is, I'm sure you'll agree, Etienne, probably the most important section of trading. Without the mindset, you'll blow money, you'll blow up your risk management, and it just won't work out. So once I realized it was about the mindset, I focused on that. And another thing that told me it was about the mindset was my partner, Pook. She used to be looking over my shoulder while we were living in London and I was trading. And she'd be saying, so what are you doing there? Showing an interest. So I said, look, sit down beside me and I'll teach you what I'm doing. And suddenly I got this light bulb moment. It was like, well, maybe I could teach her to trade. Let's see how it goes and see how she gets on with it. Now, growing up in Thailand in a Buddhist background, she's a very calm person. She's a very methodical person. And her mindset, believe me, is right in the right place, perfectly in the right place. So I sat down and taught her. And with me, being born in East London, growing up in South East London, I was a little bit, what's the word I can use? I was a bit, not wild, but unaccepting when I was wrong. I wanted to be right all the time. I was angry when I lost the position, when I lost a trade, and I couldn't understand it. And that was what was holding me back. It took me a while to get to the point where my mindset was good. Then I realized what it was. With my partner, Pook, she sat down and she's working with it and she had a full stop. And she said, okay, what do I do now? No anger, no frustration. And she went on like that. And she learned to trade successfully using the method that I was using within no time at all. She did really well. So there was another indication that how important mindset is. It's so important. It really is. So anyway, from that, I carried on. I've been trading so long. I've developed a couple of my own strategies because with the price action trading, I still trade it, but I need to be sitting at the charts for a certain period of time. I know that's something that you're not too keen on, Etienne. You'd rather be spending very short periods of time in front of the screen, which I can understand. Listen, we've got this wonderful world around us. Those of us who are lucky to travel, we want to see places. We don't want to be stuck in front of a computer screen forever. So if I'm at home and I'm not doing anything, I'm not got anything planned, I'll sit down and I'll do my day trading. No problem at all. 2 hours, 3 hours in front of the charts, sometimes 4 hours. But I've also developed a scalping method, very, very simple scalping method that I trade. And I've also got a weekly breakout thing, which is almost like a set and forget. That's not so great. It's the percentages on that are quite small, but it's something that I can set up and just leave it to run, let it stop out, let it take profit, and just check it on a Monday morning and a Friday evening. So that was that. We moved on from there, we got to a point where through our investments, trading, and I did all right on crypto as well, on Bitcoin. We managed to buy a piece of land here. We built our own house. So we got not a big house, but a beautiful house, only the two of us. 3 bedrooms in case guests come to stay. And we're living in this fantastic community in Udon. And honestly, every morning I wake up and I look out of the window in our bedroom and it's a feeling of gratitude every day. I feel so grateful from coming from nothing, losing everything. And when I lost everything, I was living in £100 a week bedsit. Never dreamed that I would be in a position where I'd have my own house again, let alone be mortgage free. So this is how we're living now. We've got this great life. We travel around quite a lot, mainly in Thailand at the moment, but we've got plans to be going other places. And I just continue to do my trading. The scalping is nice when we're traveling. I can sit down outside of hours. Usually try and trade that either the start of the London session or the start of the New York session, as I do with my day trading. But I can get in and out of there and just take a small chunk, small wins. And then that's it really. You know, it's given me the freedom. It's given me the freedom to be able to live this life. And honestly, I swear to you, I'm so grateful. I'm so happy that I stumbled across it, worked with it, and persevered, because it does take some perseverance. There's loads of times when I just felt like giving up. Oh, no, again, you were the same, Missy. And, you know, you get to a point where it's frustrating. What am I doing wrong? And it's got to a point now where I'm well past that. So that was 2015 when I started and I became consistent and profitable. 2017, I started teaching. Just recently, it got to a point where I'd been working with my mentor for 8 years, and I just thought it was time to make a change. So I've pulled away from that now and been speaking to Etienne, and Etienne can tell you a little bit more about that, I'm sure, and where it's leading.
We'll kind of get to that in a minute. I just want to go back and figure out what was the hardest part of learning how to trade for you? What was the hardest kind of experience you had to go through?
I suppose, first of all, getting rid of that. It was like a mix of mindset, because you need to get rid of that idea that you know, you're going to be rich overnight, that you're going to have everything you want. You can't do that. And if you risk your capital to the extent where you would be if you were lucky, you're going to blow it anyway. Absolutely guarantee it, 100%. It's got to be a very, very methodical process that you lay out regarding risk management and how much you're placing on whatever position you take, and accepting the losers. You know, you'll never, ever win as a Forex trader or any trader until you can accept the losses. You've got to accept those losses before you can win. So there was that mindset, but also finding the right person to work with. It's only now, when you first get into it, it's exciting, you're buzzing. It's like, yeah, I've discovered this great thing, which is going to solve everything that I wanted in my life. And then you get involved with something. I paid a fortune to some guy going up to a hotel in London, American guy. He came over to London to do a seminar. And he had these people on stage. And honestly, I'm sitting there thinking, why on earth did I pay all that money for this? Within the first 30, 40 minutes, it was obviously, I don't know, it was just, it was all for show, and it was all about him making the money out of me. And of course, I stuck with him for a while, and his method didn't work. And a few others. And like I say, I blew up 2 accounts. Luckily, they're very small accounts. So finding the right mentor, finding the right strategy that suits you. With Etienne, listen, I can vouch for Etienne. I've known him since online, I've known him since probably 2015, 2016, something like that. I became aware of him. He's been here ever since, and he's constantly showing people what to do. The reviews are great and everything else. So that works. Whereas me, at the start, I didn't know anyone. Oh, he looks good. What did I know? Jumping in, blowing a load of money with him, bang, and it was gone. So, but no, finding the mentor that I did, it was okay. But I still found that quite restricting. Even though I stuck with it for 8 years, it was quite restricting. It was only one method, and that was it. With doing what Etienne does, it seems like a good thing. I've since started looking at his methods, all of them. I'm having a broad view of everything that he's doing. And there's something there for everyone. Well, you know, whether you've got a full-time job and you can only afford 30 minutes, an hour, looking at the charts, whether it be a week, a day, there's something there for you. If you've got time to sit down and pull the charts apart, pull the numbers apart and link in with all the analytics and the news, there's methods for that as well. So it's a good all-round system or say more than one system. It's a good all-round teaching to be able to find a system that suits you. That's very important. Find the system that suits you and get working on that mindset immediately. So it was that kind of brought me the success, I think, pretty sure.
Yeah, I totally appreciate that. You mentioned you don't like to have too much time on the chart either. Like you like to do other stuff. You travel a lot also within Thailand, which is definitely nice. Walk me through what your training style is these days. Do you still follow the same things you learned early on, or is it different now? And what kind of methods are you kind of sticking to?
Okay, so I'm still sticking with the original day trading method that I've been using all these years. Only when I'm sitting here in the office, in my house, I've got an office here. If I'm here and I've not made plans to meet people, and the other thing is as well, we've used some of our profits that I've made from trading and crypto to get involved in other businesses here as well. My wife, should I say, everything runs through my wife. It's easier for a Thai person if you're in Thailand to work with businesses. So we've been making use of the money we've been making to invest in some other things, and they're doing extremely well. So if I've got meetings regarding that, then obviously I need to be there. There's nothing I can do about it. And I can't really, that determines when I'm in front of the charts. So I can't really work with the day trading on those days. But if I'm sitting here and I've not got anything planned, London open, New York open, I can sit here and I can trade that, and I'm successful with it. If I'm a bit pushed for time, something else I do on a Sunday evening, I'll look at the Forex calendar, and on the whiteboard behind me, I'll always mark all the red news events, okay, whether I'm going to trade them or not. And the reason being, if I come into the office, I can glance at that. If there's a red news event coming up within the next 30 minutes, 15 minutes, I know my method for red news trading. I can sit down at my charts. I don't need to do any prior analysis, and I can sit there, watch the red news event. It's red news events. I actually love trading. It's probably one of my best ways of trading. I don't make a point of being here ready, but if I am here and I can trade it, and this is whether we're in a hotel somewhere else in Thailand, up in the mountains, down at the beach, I shall make sure if I glance at the time, I'll sit and trade that. The reason being is because there's no other method of trading that I've come across that shouts from the rooftops, watch your charts at this time on the US dollar. Something is quite likely going to happen. A red news event, more often than not, something happens. Sometimes it doesn't. It's a dud. You'll get an initial knee-jerk reaction both ways, and then it will peter out. There's no trade there. But the method that I use for red news trading, I know when to sit down. I know there's a very, very high probability that something's going to happen that I could take advantage of, and that's when I'll concentrate on that. And of course, with that, I can be out in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or set up some trailing stops or something like that and just let it run and go off to bed. Just leave it to do its thing. So red news trading is probably my favorite method of trading, and I'll still trade that probably more often than anything else. Also, I'll sit down and scalp. If I've just got a short period of time, if we're out and about traveling, I'll sit down and I'll scalp. Again, it's something that more often than not, I don't need to spend a lot of time on. I can get in, get out, and small wins, they do me on that. And the weekly strategy, I do use that sometimes just to keep a check on it. But the thing is, I'd rather use that capital in other things that I'm doing because they're more profitable. So really, I suppose it's the red news trading that's the most important and the most profitable for me, really. And I enjoy it. It uses up such a little amount of time.
You mentioned this earlier, the fact that trading for you is important, but you also invest in other things. And I just believe in this a lot. Like trading is part of what I do also, but investing is also a really big part of it. How do you kind of combine both? And how do you see trading in terms of your overall kind of finances, let's say?
Well, trading started off really as an obsession and a necessity for me to escape England. I see it as an escape. I really do, to get here to Thailand. So Forex trading is my first love, if you like, when it comes to investing. I enjoy it. But of course, you can't just, get carried away with that kind of thing. You need to be able to sit down and work out a strategy, a plan that's going to work well for you financially, building your wealth and allowing you to invest in other things. So yeah, Forex is pretty important. Crypto, I still have a bit to do with that. In fact, we opened, we haven't got it now, sold it, but we opened Thailand's first Bitcoin farm, green Bitcoin farm, should I say. So we had a crypto mining farm where we were running off of biogas. Did very well, built it and ran it myself. And that did very well, and we sold that, got rid of it. To move on to other things. Again, that was tying me down a little bit with time. So other methods of investing, not for very long, but I've been looking at ETFs and with them paying dividends. So, that's something that I'm getting into where I've got a method now where I'm trading stocks, ETFs. And that's quite good because you can find the companies that pay weekly dividends, monthly dividends, but weekly dividends is quite nice. As a London taxi driver, I used to go out in the morning driving, and within 10 minutes I'd pick someone up. And at the end of that journey, I had mainly before the advent of everyone paying with credit cards, I had a handful of cash and more cash. And every day it was like that. And I'd come home with a pocket full of cash. Trading ETFs, all right, it's not cash in your pocket, but it's cash coming in. It's your wins come in, your dividends come in on a weekly basis. Not quite as good as the taxi driving with daily, but you've got a weekly basis where they're coming in. And that's really quite attractive. And of course, trading like that, you're buying a stock, you're holding that stock, whether it goes up or down, but you're getting paid dividends for it. Sometimes higher than other weeks, sometimes a little bit lower, but that is what it is. So that's something else that I'm looking into. And I quite like the fact that that's almost a set and forget. You can set that up and leave it to run.
But is trading for you a way to pay your bills, or is it like a way to build your investments and to take money and then invest in other things after?
Well, I always take a wage from it. And that's something I learned from an early day as well. If you're doing this and doing this and doing this and just building capital and you're happy with that, that's great. And you can build much quicker doing that. But for me, originally, before Pook set up her businesses here, it had to be a way of making a living. You know, we had to pay our bills. We had to pay for our food. All vastly reduced living in Thailand, obviously. It's so inexpensive to live here, but we still needed money to do it. Like I say, I haven't got a pension. So yeah, I would always pay myself a wage. Whatever I made, I would always pay myself a percentage of what I'd made as a wage. And no one knows what's going to happen in the markets. You know, no one can predict them. You just got to go with the probabilities and accept what they throw at you. But yeah, some months more than others. But I always take a wage from my Forex trading. And that's the way it is. And with the ETFs now, same with them. I'll always draw a bit out in cash, back over to the bank and then out in cash. But at the same time, I obviously want to build the capital for longer term and obviously increasing the profits that I'm making. Not percentage-wise, but dollar-wise. Yeah, I'll leave a bit in there to grow.
I mean, I'm really excited because Kevin's going to be back on the channel quite a few times in the coming months for sure. He's going to partner with us, work with us at Disaster Trade on helping traders get profitable and scale up their trading. So it's going to be a fun adventure. I look forward to see how it's going to be able to teach and the stuff that he goes in depth on. You'll see him on a few videos coming up for sure. He's going to be there. It's going to be teaching his methods, also kind of looking at what we do and applying what we do as well. It's going to be a fun experience and look forward to see how that progresses.
That was something that I was really looking forward to, because pulling away from the teaching I was doing before, I didn't realise how much I would miss it. And all right, I can carry on doing what I'm doing, but at the same time, being able to interact with others and being able to help others, that is really important to me. You know, I've always said, give even if you've only got a little, whether that be like getting yourself a coffee and dropping your loose change in the charity box, or even smiling at a stranger on the street. You're giving something to that person, and it could mean a lot to them. And with the trading, knowing the position that I was in, feeling helpless back in England all those years ago, not knowing how I was going to get away and get over to where I wanted to be, get to where I needed to be. I didn't know how I was going to do it. In the end, I found how to do it. And if I can just spark something for anyone and give them the opportunity to start moving towards that freedom. And I'm not saying, listen, guys, learn trading and all come to live in Thailand. No, not at all. Whatever country you're living in, wherever you are, you can improve your living standards without a doubt. If, and that's a big if, you manage to master trading, because you've really got to work on your mindset. It's one of the hardest things ever. Emotions, all kinds of things come in. So that mindset is so important. But yeah, if you can do that, whether you stay in the country you're living in now, you might have family commitments or whatever. Believe me, if you can master this, it will give you so much freedom in your life. And of course, if you want to travel.
Look forward to see how it's going to come. You will see Kevin on the channel. If you have any questions about him or what he does, make sure you comment below the video. Let us know your questions. We'll be able to cover these topics. Also, if you have any things you want Kevin to cover, it's going to be good to see that. So a lot of changes coming, but it's going to be for a good cause for sure. And look forward to see how we progress with that. And Kevin's going to be back here pretty soon. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you back in the next video.